So there are three ways to create objects, but I'd say 90% of the time you would just use this way. Okay, so object literals is what this is called, this way of creating an object. The simplest way to create an object is by using a object literal, which is basically curly braces. Okay, and you end up adding these and this. This is known as a method. Okay, this is known as a method, and these are known as properties when it comes to objects, and these are the values of that property. And any property, you could say, that has a function is known as a method. Okay, and properties can also have arrays, objects inside of them as well. So this is how you create a object. You add curly braces, inside of it you add properties and methods. Okay, so this is how objects are created. This is the first way. And to access your object, whatever variable your object is created in, you just name that variable, use a dot, and then the name of that property, which is first name in this example. It could also be last name and age, but to access this, you add a dot, then the name of the property, okay, and then you add parentheses. So what this does is tells JavaScript that this is a method inside of this object. That's how you do object literals and also how objects work. Now let's move on to the next example of creating a object, which is using the new object syntax. Okay, and this isn't really that complicated. You are just doing this new object, and this has to have a capital O. This is creating a empty object, which is basically the equivalent to saying this is equal to this. Okay, so this is basically saying this. Okay, so after that, what you are doing is you are just using the variable and just adding in the properties and then giving those properties some values. And it's the same for the method as well, just creating the greet property and just telling it it's a function, and that is making it into a method now. So that's how this works, this way of creating objects using the new object syntax. So let's move on to the next one, which is using the constructor functions. Okay, when you create a function with a capital letter, right, basically saying that this is now an object. Okay, using the this keyword, I'm saying that this function has this property now, and the value is going to be this. Okay, so that's what's happening here, and it's the same for the method. Okay, I'm saying that this is a property called greet, and now what I can do here is say new, meaning it's a new constructor. Okay, and I know this, if you know classes, then this looks similar to classes. Now you can create a new person object by using the new keyword and then the person constructor name. After that, you just pass in the arguments and you just make this object equal to this variable, and then you can just access any of the object properties or methods. And the way we do this is that if we want to create different in this example, persons, but with different values. Okay, there could be a John Doe and a Jane Doe, and they have different ages and different names. So this is how constructor functions work as objects. And honestly, you really don't use these that often because you just use classes. There is a very small chance you will actually end up using this. So I hope you like this one. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.